So we don't have a table, guys.
Oh, we're actually recording on the smallest amount of surface space. I think
that is absolutely possible.
Oh, and there are trucks driving by.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if that'll be on the mic.
Subjectivist, this is the good stuff.
This is real raw.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need
unfiltered.
You don't need a studio to record, guys. Let me rephrase it. If you don't mind people complaining about your audio quality.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need a real studio.
Sorry.
So anyway, big hype right now between the most recent announcement for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Two new Pokemon.
Yeah, 2 new Pokemon. Super exciting, and I didn't even think there were going to be more announcements for new Pokemon at this point.
It seems so soon, yeah. I thought it was exciting though.
So we have that kind of hype going right now, which is fantastic because a while ago we asked you guys, our fans, if you had any fake Pokemon designs that you wanted to share with us.
Your Fakemon. This has actually been requested since we had our anniversary video that we do critiques specifically for Fakemon, and this isn't really going to be a critique session. We're kind of just going to go over them and talk about why we like them.
I think they'll be critiquing, but it's not really a critique.
Yeah.
So to speak. We have a lot of different submissions from a lot of different artists at different skill levels. You know, we have some people who are working with digital medium and they have that kind of Ken Sugimori look down. And then we have some stuff that's drawn with pencil and paper, you know, from a much younger fan. So
yeah, sometimes much younger.
So we have a wide range, and really what we want to talk about today is the concepts that we see here, and less about the execution because it's all over the place, and that's really a nice thing. I mean, you can say that Pokemon has that unifying art direction, but if we're looking at fans' artwork, it's cool to see each person's individual style come through. We got maybe 80 to 100 submissions.
Oh, we got a ton.
Like a lot of submissions. So unfortunately, we're only going to be doing a pretty small fraction of these for this video, but we will be doing a part 2. So if you didn't get yours in time, or if you submitted yours and we didn't pick it for this, don't worry. We might pick it again for another video where we can get the rest
We'll do a part 2
the crew.
With the whole crew.
Yeah, we can get everyone in here because right now Claire and I have moved from Boston to Providence.
We just got a dog and we just moved and they just moved, so there is a lot going on. So for this week it's just us, but we'll get everyone together again soon.
Yeah, let's take a look-see at these designs.
So this first Fakemon that we're featuring is actually a Evolutionary line, a 2-stage line, and this is coming from Austin J. Ritz. We hope we're saying that right.
Ritz? I don't know.
We think this line is just super cute.
Yeah, I like this idea. Now, this is funny because I saw these yesterday before the Nintendo Direct, or by yesterday I mean Wednesday. But I saw them before the Nintendo Direct, and I was like, oh yeah, obviously we need a tea kettle Pokemon.
Yeah.
For
tea time.
For tea time, but then they made a tea kettle Pokemon, which is completely different from this, so it just goes to show you how many different ways you can take the tea kettle concept. But what's cool about this is that it's actually based off of a Japanese myth. The artist has attached this whole story to go with these characters based off of a Japanese myth of a tanuki that can transform into a tea kettle, which is super cute, and I really like when, you know, there's that kind of inclusion of, like, culture into a Pokemon's design. A lot of Pokemon have that.
I love that there's a concept, it's a specific animal, and also a specific story that it's based on. I think specificity is really key to having a cool Pokemon design.
And a unique design.
Yeah, and it really stands out. Austin told us this line is specifically based on the fairy tale Bunbuku Chagama, which is about a priest that discovers a tea kettle that transforms into a tanuki.
Yeah, so the first thing that I really liked about this design was the palette swap between the two forms. I really like when Pokemon change color allocation between evolutionary forms. I think one of the best ways to make a convincing Pokemon evolutionary line is to consider how to apply colors differently. as it evolves. So instead of keeping the body in this beigeish yellow when it evolves, now the blue, which were on the accessories, now switches for the main color of the body. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think one of the other things that makes an evolution look very convincing is often you have the same color scheme, but you add a color as the line progresses. We really like this. We think it's super cute.
Yeah. I like the shapes. If we wanted to give a critique, I would say you could exaggerate the shapes on Tanu Kettle a little bit more. I think that he could have maybe a smaller head and a bigger body. And looks like there's almost like a reddish color coming from underneath the cloak where the steam is escaping. I would say you could push that a little bit more to give that fire, because I like this is a water fire line that doesn't explicitly look like a volcano or a boiler or something. But you can push that a little bit more, and like we said, that adds a little bit more variety so that the evolutionary line looks a little bit more dynamic. I would say also don't be afraid to stylize that cloud a little bit more. I think the way it is right now, it kind of feels a little bit like an afterthought. You know, include that in the silhouette of the Pokemon.
Good job. We think it's really cute.
Very cute.
Let's move on.
So
here's Ambolt. It's an electric bulb Pokemon which connects to a thrown-away lamp. The rest of the lamp is burnt by the immense heat, and only the legs remain. This heat is created by its electricity, which is made in the copper coils, which are also its brain.
which are also its
I like that.
The entire description that we got for this Pokemon is all in caps. Which is good, because this Pokemon definitely looks like it has a lot of energy. He's amped up.
This Pokemon is very naughty and likes to electrocute its trainer for fun.
That sounds so much more dire when it's all in caps and likes to electrocute its trainer for fun.
That's good. I'm definitely getting amped up mischievous vibes.
Definitely a lot of like Electrode and Voltorb energy with this guy.
Yeah, especially in the eyes. I like that it's not just monochromatic. You have a little bit of the blue in the eyes. That helps.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Nick isn't with us for this recording, but we definitely were thinking of Nick when we picked this one out. This definitely has some Nick vibes to it.
I would maybe say something about the mouth. I think there's a lot of potential with the coil in a light bulb with maybe replacing the mouth. Because I think the eyes do a really good job by themselves of telling us that this Pokemon is mischievous.
Yeah, he is definitely mischievous.
He definitely wants to electrocute its trainer for fun.
Yeah, Ample, definitely very cute. I like they get added a shiny form too. There.
Yeah, it's the shiny is silver.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Definitely a lot of detail. They added base stats for the Pokemon too,
which is cool.
Well, definitely a lot of thought went into this. Definitely very cute. I like Ample. Okay, so this next one, this is gonna be a little interesting. Yeah, I thought most of our fans were between the ages of like 15 to 25, but there is some span between those age groups and beyond, and it turns out we have some very young fans, and we had to include this one young fan's submission and her drawing of her own Pokemon idea, which fortunately her dad has translated for us. Because it does get a little confusing. So obviously, as you can see here,
we have the head.
We got the head is right there.
This is the neck. It's long,
yes.
I think, but it also might be the body.
We got the water swooshing out of the shovel.
Yeah, he has a shovel that shoots water.
And the flame tail.
Her dad has translated for us that she has been watching the original Pokemon series and suspects this might be kind of Charmander-esque in anatomy because that seems to be the inspiration. He also says that he is kind of picturing this Pokemon as sort of a Smokey the Bear, earth sign firefighter with a shovel.
I like that idea of a Smokey the Bear Pokemon. My only confusion with that though is he setting the fires in addition to putting them out.
That's like his Pokedex entry.
But this was really cute because this is the kind of stuff that I would do when I was 5 years old. So I drew stuff like this all the time. You know, most of it was probably completely inscrutable. So, but thank you so much for the submission. I'm gonna try to do an interpretation of this one. You'll have to tell me if I got it right. Like, is my interpretation of it, so it might be a little far off from what she was picturing. But
it's hard to compare these two renditions. They each have their charms.
Yeah, I really like this. This makes me really happy to look at.
Yeah, we loved getting this email.
Yeah. So, very interesting design with this one. This person has rendered it on paper. You know, everyone has different tools available to them.
But you know, the concept, we can still see the concept. So it's based on a very specific animal, Leptocephalus. Okay, so Leptocephalus is a transparent eel larva. So I guess it's ghost because it's translucent.
Oh, interesting.
That's really cool. It's like
it's just what you call a baby eel is a Leptocephalus.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. We're looking this up in real time, guys.
That's very interesting. I see, again, that's one of those like deep concept diggings that I think really pays off in a final design.
Yeah.
Because you can go so many different directions with that, and if you know about something like transparent eel larva.
Yeah, of course you would make a Pokemon.
Like, yeah, I love that this has that balance between cute and cool,
yeah,
and
it's
a little
like
bit
cute
scary.
And scary. I like his little grin there.
I think eels in general, they're
cool.
They're really cute. They're kind of doofy looking, but for the most part, they're really cool. Like ribbon eels, I think I've always thought were really cool, and just moray eels, which is this looks like it probably has just based off of the color and the fins and the body shape and stuff. Kind of looks like a moray eel. But I also like that you included this pattern that kind of maybe mimics a rib cage a little bit to emphasize that transparent thing.
Yeah, this is super cool. I would definitely put this eel on my team.
Yeah. And it also will look really good just thematically with like Delmise.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about Delmise because I'm thinking about eels and all the design possibilities there, and maybe it could have an ability like Delmise's Ironworker, but for electric type moves, because it could be like an electric.
Yeah, actually, when I looked at it, I'm just, I see yellow.
Projecting.
I'm like, it must be an electric type, which is stupid, of course. It doesn't have to be an electric type. But yeah, this is really cute. I think that concept is great, execution is good too. I would say something you would want to work with here is maybe think about different poses.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the first thing that comes to my mind is you can emphasize the transparent part of it is if, how eels have that ribbon way of moving, and you could show the overlapping parts of its body, and you could see how it's transparent. I think that would really sell that whole look to it.
So we actually have a Pokedex entry for this next guy, who I like. I think he's really cute.
Yeah.
Petramon will remain very still for long periods of time in heavily forested areas until they become overgrown and appear to look like shrubs. It uses its petrifying gaze to stun its prey before consuming them alive in their petrified state.
Like a Sun and Moon Pokedex entry.
Yeah,
Talk about
Sun and Moon Pokedex entries. They are hardcore.
Yeah, so I'd say eating shit. I don't know. It's always so crazy. Thinking about Pokemon eating other Pokemon. That sounds so crazy. But then again, there are now sausages in Sword and Shield. What are those sausages made out of? I really like this guy. We were saying that it has like Karibo energy. It looks like it could fit into that Karibo archetype. I appreciate that this person went for the Ken Sugimori drawing look. It definitely sells, makes it a little bit more convincing Fakemon. Yeah. And I just like the design overall. It's got so much movement and motion to it, and
I can really see it jumping at me after it's petrified me with its gaze.
Yeah, and I can see this in an episode of Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
A lot of antics going on with this. It's camouflaging. It looks like a bush. I also like how you did the fake out design where it looks like the flowers would be the eyes, and then where the eyes actually are looks like it could be the mouth, kind of like Cradilly or Kabuto or something like that. I love this. I think this might be my favorite submission.
Yeah, I really
of the group. It's
super cute, and like the last one, it's also kind of balancing cute and creepy, but I think it's really effective.
Yeah. I think it works well with the whole like English folklore kind of thing. Like this definitely feels very forest sprite kind of thing, which is a lot of fun too.
Okay, so this next one is coming to us from Meowch. This is Dremlit.
This is a really cute design. They gave it to us in a pixel art style, which is super cute. Really cute. And I really like how this is a much more abstract design. you know, a lot of people, when they see a Pokemon that isn't like explicitly an animal or something that they understand, they're like, oh, Pokemon is running out of ideas. But I really think that it's more creative to come up with things like this.
It kind of makes me think of Stonehenge, or maybe it could evolve into something based on Stonehenge.
Yeah. You're forced to think more about things like shape and color when you're not basing it off of, you know, like a
animal.
Yeah, like an existing concept. And I think that works really well here. I think that you have a lot of good balance between the hard shapes of the tablet and then the soft shape of this cloud.
I
also just like how mysterious it is.
Yeah.
You know, if there's some inclusion with, does it have another form that fits into this broken half of it?
Yeah, I could totally see like a Spinda type thing where everyone you encounter has a slightly different pattern.
Or they're cracked in a different way.
Yeah.
And they can fit into each other.
I also just want to say, like, you made a rock cute.
Yeah.
That's really just cool that you could do that.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to do. I think this is, you know, one of those designs, thinking more in the concept stage.
Yeah.
And then that pays off a lot more in the finished design. Mm-hmm. So really good job with this one. Really cute. Okay, so this next one is a 3-stage evolutionary line. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is, I think, the first humanoid one that we've done so far. Right? Which is good. Every Pokemon's generation has the humanoid Pokemon. But this one I think is really cute. I think is well designed. This design is based off of a Victorian myth, kind of a cryptid, called the Leaping Jack. Was that what it was called?
The Spring Heel Jack, which they told us was a Victorian boogeyman. Definitely seems pretty vampiric.
Yeah, bat plus Victorian is always going to make you think of vampire. The difference between just making a vampire bat Pokemon and making a Pokemon based off of a very specific Victorian myth, there's just more things you can do with it, you know, from concept into execution.
I really like his pants, his poofy Victorian pants.
Yeah, I like the progression too. From the first stage has this very timid, kind of sad-looking emotion, and then he gets kind of shifty and mischievous in the second phase, and then the third phase,
angry.
Yeah, and then the third phase, like, he is ready to spring and jack you up, and jack you up. I like this. Again, this is where looking for a very specific source of concept pays off. Just doing vampire, chances are you're going to come up with something that looks like something that people have seen before.
Yeah, as Jack was saying, anytime you change a Pokemon's personality as it evolves, it just makes it that much more convincing.
Yeah, because I think that's a big part of a Pokemon's design is the personality that it conveys. And a lot of people don't really think about that, I think, when they're designing their Pokemon, but that's very important. So yeah, great job with this one.
So the one thing we didn't get with these guys is names. If you guys have any ideas for names for this line, definitely comment that below.
Yeah. So this next one is really crazy, but I really like it.
Yeah, me too.
It breaks a lot of design conventions of Pokemon, which I appreciate and I think works well for this generation because they're doing that a lot with a lot of their new Pokemon designs.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I feel like we haven't seen a Pokemon quite like this before. Our body type is kind of Pidove-esque, but that's intentional. It's based on the frigate bird, but it's not just a bird. It's specifically this dark dragon type that disguises itself as a bird to blend in and prey on smaller Pokemon.
Yeah, like really, like this is like some sci-fi horror stuff right now. Yeah,
it's definitely very creepy.
I really appreciate that this artist has included with the design this
explanation
this
animation.
Motion, the animation, little like 2-frame, because if we just had the stand still we wouldn't really understand that it's got this whole horrible maw underneath it. And I really like too how they took the base look from a frigate bird, which has the males have these huge inflatable sacs under their bills, but they took that look and then came up with their own concept.
I really like that it's a dragon, but it doesn't really look like a traditional dragon.
Yeah.
It's kind of a new dragon idea.
Not like a lizard with wings. Like it's
something totally different.
Very unique looking. I think the proportions are all very Pokemon-esque. The eyes too feel very Pokemon to me.
Yeah, definitely the eyes.
And we have a shiny included here too. I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, I'm just realizing now that this going on the back is a fake head.
Oh, yeah, I didn't
on the back
see that
there.
Before.
So it takes the decoy even further. This is great. This is maybe this one's my favorite. I don't know. I really like this one.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would catch for sure.
Definitely. I could also see it. It could definitely be just like a one-stage no evolution. But I would also love to see what this thing might evolve into.
I kind of want to see an evolution for it, just because, I mean, I like little guys like this, but I also like when they get big and scary, too.
So you can use it for the whole game.
Yeah, but I still think that it works well as a single form as well.
So this next one, it's another full line that comes to us from Sebastian Lima, and it is a whole line of shy little lions. It starts as this shy little cub, this little kid, and then it turns into kind of a cocky, emo teenager. And then its final form, it is a full-on weirdo, grown-ass adult, kind of just doing its own thing.
I really like that progression from, like, shy to cocky to awkward. Like, it's like, you know, I feel like a lot of people can relate to that progression where it's like, you think you're figuring it out, and then you grow up, and you're
like,
still...
wait a minute.
It's like, oh, no, I'm still awkward.
I'm still...
And I love that, because it's combining the animal with the lion, which is, you know, associated with pride and outwardness, and then
you're kind of subverting that.
Yeah, and you can see that reflected in the design too. You know, it's very nervous. It's holding its paws close together. Its knees are close together.
There's a lot of good posing here for sure.
And the shapes all work out really well too, and the colors too are great.
Yeah, the colors progress
really well.
There are
no Pokemon that have colors like that yet.
I just have to say, I like that it's bipedal and kind of humanoid without just having human proportions. It's a little more monster-ish to me, which I like.
And I can see it going down on all fours sometimes, like if it's running, I can see it on all fours.
Mm-hmm.
I like how focused its eyes are too. It's got these horrified, you know, almost kind of Esper-looking eyes.
Yeah.
Just staring straight ahead.
I really like that you have these Pokedex entries here, especially the final evolution, Meekthoro. I like that it steals food from picnickers and gets panicked when you catch it. I can really picture that happening, especially in like the anime.
Yeah, that could definitely be an anime plotline right there. Yeah, very cute.
Okay, so we have another batty Pokemon here.
Yeah, I realize that we've done 2 bats, but honestly, they were both really good. And I think it just goes to show you how many different design possibilities can come from a similar concept. You know, I shouldn't even say that they're the same concept. They're kind of the same inspiration in terms of what animal that they use, but they're actually very different concepts.
Yeah, it's vampire bat and then fruit bat, which in personality are very different animals.
There's a type of bat called a banana bat.
Oh, there is?
Look up a banana bat. What kind of bat is that?
It says banana bat.
There is a banana bat, but it looks fucking crazy looking.
So, they have big snoots. I guess if you want it to be more specific to banana bat than fruit bat, you could copy that snoot.
No, don't. This is so much cuter than that. So far with bats and Pokemon, we have the Zubat line, which barely looks like bats. It's like very cartoon bats. Really, you would only say it looks like a bat in the sense that a Halloween decoration looked like a bat. And then you have Swoobat and Woobat, which have the more of the
really cartoony.
They emphasize the big nose and the fur of a bat. And then Noibat and Noivern too.
I love them.
Yeah, those are
cool.
great. Fantastic designs. And I think that this one really sets itself aside. I think maybe the ears kind of look like Swoobat a little bit.
Yeah, but it's more animal.
And of course, just the colors are great too.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, you might want to play with saturation a little bit and spread it out because everything's kind of similar brightness and saturation. But still, I love this. I love how the first form has the wings that are kind of segmented that almost look like banana peels.
Yeah, it's like a little banana bunch.
Yeah. And then the second form opens up and it's got like a whole leaf design, very Tropius. Yeah, I can see it flying around Tropius's neck. Maybe it like rests underneath it, and when it folds up its wings, it looks like a banana.
I like that the first form is just grass and it's kind of looking skyward and it's posing like wonder. It's not quite there, and then when it evolves, it's flying and it's happy. It's happy. It's flying.
I misread a part of this design at first, where I thought that this division between the leaves was a little arm. I think it would be kind of cute. I know that bats' wings are their arms, but it might set this Pokemon apart from the other bat designs that already exist in Pokemon. If it had cute little arms in addition to its wings, you know, bats don't have that, but Pokemon can have that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be cute, and you give them a little bit more personality. I would also give the second form a little bit more expressive eyes. They're kind of just black. And again, that's how bats look in real life, but we're designing a Pokemon, so you can get a little bit more creative with it and a little bit more exciting. All right, so that's it. So we picked 10. But we will do this again soon.
Yeah, we'll do it with the whole group.
Yeah, we'll do it with everyone.
Get some more subjective opinions out here.
Yeah, get some more opinions.
But we really liked a lot of these.
This is a lot of fun.
A lot of them we wanted to talk about, but we were trying to have a good variety in the selection, and
Yeah, I mean, that's what is most important to us here. I think all of us, we have different interests visually, but I think what we all appreciate is a really strong concept. And I think that all of the ones that we picked here today really have that. So great job, guys. Keep it up. Be sure to keep sharing your work with us. We'll be sure to do another one of these with everybody. And
all right, well, thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, and check out our partner, Inked Gaming.
Yes.
Link down in the description. Use the code subjectively10 at checkout for a 10% discount off of all purchases. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.